Hello, George.
Have you any idea what this lens might be used for?
As a magnifying glass, obviously.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Look at...
There's a guy... between them... a knight with a crystal ball. The knight's scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
I'd better get back to the quest.
Right, so we are heading to Spain.
Hi, is this the De Vasconcellos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was gonna be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the public.
This is the De Vasconcellos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcellos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
No, she hasn't won the lottery.
A more cunning man might have claimed that she had.
Oh, yeah? They might have, might they?
And that more cunning man would have been kicked off the premises. The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why? Do you recognize this man?
No.
This lab pass mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Would you like to shake hands?
I do not think so, senor.
Have you ever seen a lens like this before?
No, senor. Never.
I'll be going for now.
Adios, senor.
The main part of the house was old, but nowhere near as old as the gatehouse section.
Hey, you.
Yeah? What is it?
You would not like it if people just wandered into your home, would you?
Well, no, I guess not.
Then show a little consideration.
Okay. Sorry.
Fair enough.
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone.
Blood pressure machine. Stop flow.
My hose has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my hose never stops.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my hose has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house.
I most
If you
definitely
do
won't.
go in the house, I will set the dogs on you.
Scared of no dogs. Father.
Hey, you. I know you are there, American. All right, you dogs. I'm coming.
Leg it.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you'd just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, they're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me.
Oh, look.
Lopez, unlock the door, por favor. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobart.
Oh,
Come with me.
Hey, senor.
yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about. Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey! It's a checkerboard! Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern. Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again. A big statuette of the Virgin Mary kept an eye on the place. Close up, over a check. The mausoleum contained 5 tombs for 5 of the Knights Templar, man-size in marble. May I ask you something?
You may ask.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard. Oh, the pattern on the lectern, purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
Who exactly are these people?
My ancestors. These 5 men were all members of the Templars.
5 ancestors in the order. You must be very proud.
Not 5, 6.
Where's the 6th knight?
He was lost to us.
You lost an ancestor?
It is a family matter. It can have no relevance.
Well, it's connected with the curse of the De Vasconcelos, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I hope you will honor my desire not to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. Is the Virgin Mary really the right person to be sharing a mausoleum with 5 knights?
You are showing your ignorance, Senor Stobart. The Templars were dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
Can't get comfortable. Show more section of that, shall we?
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart, you cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary. Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time, we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ain't here and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Lopez! Lopez! Put that hose down and listen! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set! Now hurry! My, this is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
while we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything?
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos. Is he the guy who went missing?
See, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. The bishop envied us our lands and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again. Lopez, you have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady. My lady seems to trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
It fits, Senor Stobart. It fits.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went into which holes.
Each chess piece must be placed in its corresponding hole. Click on any unplaced chess piece. It will turn to reveal a pattern on its base. Likewise, click on any hole on the board and it will show. Each chess piece must be dragged into the hole and corresponding pattern. Previous dragged chess piece to form a little ball. Red, green, green. Red. Red, dark green, green, blue. Marks red, blue, light green, dark. What we need here. Let's try. Sure. Green, blue, red.
With the red pieces in place, the square bases fit onto the white pieces. I just had to figure out where to place them. Bingo! I mean, checkmate.
Senor Stobart, look!
What is that? It's not the Holy Grail, is it?
No, Senor Stobart. It is the communion chalice of the De Vasconcelos, missing for almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
I assure you. This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobart.
Sure, I'm sure. The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
Back to the goose.
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is lifted?
Oh no, the Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice. But there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templar's secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will. This is the chalice I discovered in Spain.
I still can't figure out why the Countess gave it to you. After losing it for all those years, she simply gave it away to a total stranger? She's one prawn short of a paella.
The Countess is a fine lady. You shouldn't compare her with seafood.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on between you and that Countess.
Are you serious? She's old enough to be my grandmother. I'd better get back to the quest.
Leave. Go holiday again. Let's try this.
You're back.
Me, I have returned.
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you back here again.
No? Well, it is a strange thing, but I am here on duty.
On duty? But you're just sitting there drinking wine.
No, I am not just drinking wine. I am undercover.
I must be missing something. You're in uniform.
Precisely, monsieur. My cover is that of an indolent, wine-guzzling police
That's a
officer.
good job.
You've got me convinced.
Merci. But in reality, my every muscle is poised, every nerve honed.
Ooh.
I am drawn tight, ready to pounce. Bang!
Pizzang.
Who or what were you planning to pizzang on?
You must have heard, monsieur, of the terror that is gripping Paris.
This character's
You mean the
awesome.
killings? Oh, at last, someone's taken action.
People die every day. No, I am on the trail of Sewer Jacques.
Who?
Sewer Jacques, the terror of the subterranean city. He pops up here, he pops up there. The cops, they seek him everywhere. Is he so hush or beneath the neck? That damned elusive Sewer
I
Jacques.
love this guy.
Bravo, that's very good.
Merci. I was up half the night writing that.
Who is this Sewer Jacques character anyway?
Ah, if we but knew that, we could have him in custody in an hour. But
Hey, small
he
streamers.
is cunning to despoil the sewers of our fair city. He has committed many
Thanks for the
deceptions.
love.
He has pretended to be a police officer and deluded a poor war
Hey, Demon.
veteran.
How are you, buddy?
Oh,
He has pretended to be a jongleur
wow. Is that the time?
and an American tourist. What nationality are you, monsieur?
Canadian. Well, gotta go now. See ya. Well, it's not everyone who can say they started an urban myth.
It's pretty cool. There's no stupid Ross urban myths that I'm aware of. What's this? We have a priest in here. Speak to him, see what he's going to say for himself.
Excuse me, Father.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure to help you.
What a lovely voice he's got.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
Oh,
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church then.
Just a little.
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest.
Oh, yes, it
Many
is.
of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to
it
France.
was a disgrace.
The Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
Yeah, good. Looking at that.
What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
He's a careful polisher.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
I don't know what a Spanish bell sounds like.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Maybe.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Sunday school dropout.
Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Sunday school dropout. Sunday school dropout.
A knight there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. The priest was still busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church.
What do we have in our bag of tricks? Lens and a scroll. Oh,
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove. Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Hey,
oh, more puzzles. Okay. 3 lens elements need to be slid to the correct position within the circle so that when aligned they create a clear image. Each lens element can be moved by pulling the mouse pointer over the number tab, and when a grasped hand appears, we can move the mouse by its side, left and right, which is the right. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. This is a hard one. Because I can't really see what's going on. I'm doing pretty bad at this. I still can't really see what it's doing. And it's meant to be, this is some sort of head here. Doesn't look like anything, does it? I think somewhere.
The distortions came sharply and broke up. It was a Knight Templar burning at the stake. And below him a date in Roman numerals. A Knight Templar burning at the stake. And a date. Let me see. MCCC XIV. That's 1314. Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
Hello, Don Cruz. How are you doing on this fine evening?
Do you speak Latin?
You ask this of a priest?
Okay. Can you tell me what per disciplinum meam lux videbus means?
Let me see. That would be, by my teachings, you will see the light. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Me too.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something.
Oh, God. A jumble of letters are common ones beside it, and it's true. Look for arithmetic biblical verses references comparison. And then the book followed by the chapter and verse all written in numerals. For example, Luke chapter 8, verse 2 would be displayed as okay. Well, we've got
Psalms 22:21. Not much to go on, but it must have meant something. If I examined the tomb more closely, there might be other clues to find.
Psalms there.
Psalms 32:7. The numbers referred to a chapter and a verse in the Bible.
Corinthians.
Corinthians 14:5.
Literature, John, that's biblical. John. Plus.
John 4:11. There were no more references to find, but a series of Roman numerals ran around the plaque. I made a note in case they meant something.
There you go. That was
Psalms
easier than I thought.
32:7. John 4:11. Corinthians 1:4-5. And just one more. Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap.
Good, because
The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcelos arms were already on the manuscript. Note, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
Me too. Pick up my lens. There.
Per disciplinum,
Yeah.
a Knight Templar. Let me see.
Yeah. Take nothing back.
Well, I could have just, but I wanted to be other than.
Try the museum, maybe. To help. It's helped so far.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes. What is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff face. In the cave, I discovered a map bearing a phrase in Latin. In accidenta sita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map. While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Like my face.
Allegedly, yeah. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, A statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris,
Where?
at the Institut Hermétique de Nerval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
See my chalice?
No way.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Site de Baphomet. Look and skip, shall
Hey, you! Get away from my dumpster.
Okay.
Let's check.
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions.
You're doing a fine job. Merci.
What done,
I
George?
have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoked so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
Vive la différence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean, when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too.
It's kind of like when I shake my head when they're talking, like, maybe my cigarette.
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris, and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
Maybe that's why D'Lo Brown used to shake his head, because he was actually French and he was just talking to himself. This.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but
You couldn't be bothered to join.
right. Tell you what, though, I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
As long as they pay me.
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Have you seen this man before?
Yes, he asked me a lot of questions, just like you.
Good to know.
I was pretty sure the Shaken Shock had shot its bolt in Syria. Be seeing you.
Au revoir, monsieur.
The painter had a pot of gunmetal gray primer hanging from the barrier.
Hey, monsieur! Get away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot.
Should
Fuck.
know better.
The painter had a pot of gun...
Hey!
Okay.
Get
I
away
should
from my
think so.
pot. I might be able to look in the dumpster now.
Hey, you! Get away!
Okay.
Oh, right. Touchy. Two doors. Two doors. Lots of stuff. Let's try to get it first.
Hi? Excuse me? Oui? So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard. Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door is locked, monsieur.
Oh, wow, thank you, Small Streamers Connect, for the host. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Small Streamers.
Hi again.
What is it?
I'd like to know what you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground.
I doubt it.
I'd like to use the washroom, but the door's locked.
Oh, that's no problem. You can have the key.
Well, thank
Thanks.
you very much. Yeah, sweet. Was that you again, Demon?
The door was locked.
Yes, it is. Get your keys and unlock it. What's this stuff in here? Oh, something to pick up. Soap. And I have keys and plaster of Paris.
Perhaps I could make a copy of the key.
Yeah, cheers, dude. That's awesome. I'm loving all the love
The key had
today.
made a clear imprint in the soap. The bar of soap had the imprint of a key in it.
Plaster of Paris.
I knew keeping that plaster was a good idea. With the plaster and the imprint, I was on the right lines. I had filled the key's imprint in the soap with dry plaster.
Yeah. Wet it.
I didn't want to carry a bar of dirty soap around with me.
Ugh. Hello, everybody that's just joined. Thanks to Small Streamers Connect. I really appreciate it. We're playing Broken Sword. Give us a follow if you enjoy this sort of game. I play these sort of things a lot, and Nintendo 64 games, but most retro games, and yeah, enjoy. Give me any tips and hints if you've got them. So, I was doing something with this.
On the wall was an automatic hand dryer.
So I want to get it wet.
You can't make a cast without wetting the plaster.
Not do much about getting it wet.
But wet plaster alone does not make a cast.
No, it does not. No, we need to
I
try.
used the dryer to speed up the process.
I still don't understand how that's going to work in a lock thing.
Well, it had taken a while, but I had made myself a completely unconvincing plaster key. Way too fragile to use in a lock. I'd have to substitute it for the real one. Trouble was, it looked like plaster and not metal. Then again, that plaster statue in Syria hadn't looked like stone until I'd been a bit artful with it. Maybe I could improve the key as well.
Maybe we could. Let's have a look. There's that and that.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Let's have a look what we've got.
Being in a charming comfort station like this made me think fondly of the toilet in Syria. That place was kept in pretty good order. At least, it had been until I vandalized it. Still, it was all for a good cause.
Didn't really vandalise it, though, did you? Pulled the chain off.
The thing felt really hot. big demand seemed to be being made on it. I didn't want any coal.
What, we need to do something with the key. Do we have an laboratories?
On the key ring was a big old key that looked like it might fit the excavation door. It was my plaster copy of the excavation key. Trouble was, it looked like plaster, and it felt like plaster.
What can we do? It's be something to do with that paint outside, I'm sure.
Hey, monsieur, don't go with my keys.
Alright. Sorry. I'll get him back there.
Hi again.
What is it?
Here's the keys.
Merci, monsieur.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
To make this key look real. And somehow I can just paint.
Hey, monsieur!
Get
away from my paint pot!
Okay.
I should think so. Meddling with a man's paint pot. Pah.
So still not letting me do that. See what else is inside.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Coulard!
Hello, Nico. It's me.
Hi, Georges. What's happening?
I'm at the excavation, but they won't let me in.
Damn! We need to know what's in there.
Don't worry. I've got a scheme. I'm going to need your help, though.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to keep somebody on the phone for a while.
Who?
A painter. I need to get at his pot.
Oh, okay.
Painter's
Stay on the
pot.
line. I'll go and get him.
There's a nice young lady on the phone.
Hi, it's me again.
What now?
You've got a phone call.
For me? Are you certain?
It's a woman. She sounded hot.
What woman? She must be mistaken, monsieur.
Well, she asked for that hunk of a man with the nicotine fingers and his ass hanging out of his pants.
Certainly sounds like me.
It
Stand
does.
back. It wouldn't do to keep the lady from her hunk.
No, it would not.
The plaster key had soaked up the paint nicely and now looked pretty convincing. Still felt like plaster, though.
Well, monsieur, what a strange woman. She was all over me and then suddenly, nothing but abuse.
Really?
Why? Abuse. Ah well, I have a cigarette to finish. And monsieur, if she calls again, I am not available.
Okay. Right. What else do we have to do in here? What's this?
I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial. A thermostat was mounted over a radiator. The radiator was pumping out heat as the thermostat was cranked right over to full. No wonder it was warm in here, even with the door open to the chill of fall. I couldn't imagine. Hi again.
What is it?
It sure is hot in here.
I have to have the door open to allow the workmen access, so why not? I turn the heat up.
You could wrap up warm.
I have my gloves if it gets cold, but why bother when it's warm anyway?
True.
I need to use the toilet again.
Again? Already?
I have this problem. How technical do you want me to get?
Never mind. Here's the key.
Alright.
I turned the heating off.
That got cold quickly, didn't it? Yeah.
As I'd hoped, the guard put his gloves on.
How you doing, Double Cruise?
The door was locked.
Duh. Have you been watching any more of E3?
Now, I'd substituted the fake key for the excavation key. It looked okay, but felt false.
Good job he's got his gloves on. Because he won't be able to feel it, no? What's that? Thanks again for that huge boost.
The doorway led to an old
Snow
utility
streamers.
closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there. Hi again.
What is it?
I held my breath and hoped that he wouldn't notice the substitution. Here's the keys. Thanks.
Merci, monsieur.
What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
The guard was being amazingly evasive.
He was.
It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him.
Try Nico again.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
It worked once, could it work again?
Hi, Nico. It's me again.
I'd guessed. What do you want this time?
What did you say to the painter?
I shan't repeat it, Josh.
Look, I need to get the guard out of the way. Could you call back and ask him to get the painter again?
Okay, I'll call back soon.
This looked like a good place to watch things develop.
I think we're going to have some arguments here.
Hey, you! It's the phone.
Yeah, who is it?
How should I know? What am I, your social secretary?
It's not a chick, is it?
Yes, it's a woman. Are you going to answer it?
Does she have a warm, sensual voice like molten chocolate?
Yes, she has a really sexy voice. Now get a move on.
I'm not talking to her.
I can see that. You're wasting time talking to me.
No, you don't understand. I refuse to talk to her.
You refuse? You refuse? I'm wasting valuable time.
Don't make me laugh. Your time valuable? You just stand around all day.
I have a highly responsible job. Pah, don't pah me, you elephantine oaf. My job is important.
Impossible. They would have hired somebody competent in that case.
Meaning what?
instead of which they hired a dismal rent-a-cop like you. All
This is
epaulettes
some
and
harsh
no
argument.
brains.
Why, you... This looked set to carry on for some time. It was too good an opportunity to miss.
And now I can get to the door. How's everybody's day been so far? Say so far, it's 9:30 in the UK now. Wherever you are, how's your day been?
I couldn't see anything useful to do with the planks.
What is going on here?
There was no doubt about it. It was the same sort of idol I'd seen in Syria, Baphomet. The Templars had certainly been through here.
Baphomet, the three-faced bearded man.
Close up, the pattern didn't make any sort of sense. It fanned out around an axis point, a kind of focus to one side.
Let's do something with the chalice. Let's try that. Works.
And there it was, decoded by the curves of the chalice, the image of a church.
Ooh. Oh, lovely. Okay.
I found out what the chalice was for.
You've solved the puzzle?
Yeah, there was a distorted picture at the Baphomet site. When I viewed it in the polished surface of the chalice, it changed.
What did it show?
A picture of a church with a square tower.
Okay, there's really not much help on this one.
I guess I'd better return the chalice to the Countess.
Hurry back, Georges.
Okay. I remember her being a bit more involved. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she did just sit there. Yes, we've seen that before. And our lovely charming friend.
Hi there, Lopez. How's tricks?
Senor Stobart, how pleasant to see you. You are well.
Fine, thanks. Is the Countess in?
She is waiting for you. I will show you up.
It's okay, I know the way.
Senor Stobart, I feel I owe you an apology.
No, you
That's
don't.
Very
I
nice.
was impolite on our first meeting.
Look, Lopez, just forget about it. I came on like a snake oil merchant. I wouldn't have trusted me in your shoes.
You do not understand. Finding the chalice has given my lady a new lease of life. It's a marvel. She smiles, she laughs. The tradesmen are saying that she is on Prozac.
I don't think Prozac makes you smile.
So the Countess feels that the curse is lifted.
I would not put it so strongly. Your discovery of the chalice was proof that the Templars never abandoned the de Vasconcelos. It counts for a great deal with my lady.
Thank you.
Catch you later, Lopez.
Adios, Senor Stobart.
Okay. Come on, Georgie. Face the wall. Go in. Something to pick up.
It was a small mirror hanging over the sink.
Dogs.
Senor Stobart. Oh, what a pleasure. Please, sit down.
Hi, Countess. The pleasure's all mine. I've brought back your chalice.
Why? You've had it cleaned.
Yeah, I met an obliging priest with a soft cloth.
Very
Have
soft
you
voice.
resolved the Templar mystery?
No, not yet. I don't even know what it is I'm after.
There are many stories of the knight secreting great wealth away.
Whatever. All I know is I don't want the bad guys to get it.
Ah, to be young and live in a world of moral absolutes.
I discovered something amazing with that chalice. In Paris, I found a church where they recognized the coat of arms. I found the tomb of Don Carlos de Vasconcelos.
You are sure? There can be no mistake?
The coat of arms on the chalice matches the one on the tomb.
Incredible. You have my most profound thanks. I must go there as soon as possible.
Yeah? Well, I'd be happy to show you the city.
Oh, George does have a thing for her.
There's something else that I discovered carved on Don Carlos's tomb. Biblical references.
What are the references, Senor Stobart?
Psalms 32:7, Corinthians.
I am not a good enough scholar to know the Bible chapter and verse. I meant, what are the quotations?
You know, I forgot to ask the priest.
That's not much good, is it?
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is your home. I shall remain here.
Oh, you dumb Cruise trying to steal my viewers. It's alright. Everybody should be following Don Cruise anyway. So if you haven't, go follow him. I'll come over and have a look when I'm done here, Dom. Okay, I just start to here. Bible.
Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit.
Okay. That's the lighter, I guess. How am I going to light it? Flames. Backwards tissue. out. The window's open. Do that again. Burning candle. Sneaky.
The candle had burnt brilliantly, but only for a couple of minutes. Some kind of special formulation, I guess. And had yielded up this. A complex shape expertly cut in stone. I figured it was some kind of key.
I wonder what the key does. I don't know what keys do, but the key opens.
Hello again. Mind if I sit?
Please, be my guest.
Here's the Bible from the mausoleum.
Very well. Let us begin. The first reference.
Psalms 32:7.
Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. My hiding place.
Don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be leading us to where we found the chalice.
You are right, of course. The next.
Okay, John 4:11.
John 4:11. Here. The well is deep. The next. Quickly.
Okay. Corinthians 4:5.
Here it is. Will bring to light the hidden things. Any more?
Just one. Psalms again. 22:21.
Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns. The last is confusing. Lions, unicorns, what does it mean?
I can't guess.
Salient points seem to be a hiding place and a deep well. In no sense is the mausoleum a well, Senor Stobart.
Is there a well in the grounds?
I do not know. I suppose that there must have been once upon a time. Lopez is the man to ask about anything pertaining to the estate.
Okay.
What do you make of this?
It looks like some sort of key. Where did you get it from?
It was buried inside the great candle in the mausoleum.
Inside it. What have you done to it?
I, lit it.
But it is irreplaceable.
Listen, the candle was to be lit in case of Moorish attack, right? Well, it burnt down in no time and revealed this key thing. Maybe that was the real purpose of lighting the candle.
What are you suggesting?
That lighting the candle was the equivalent of break glass in case of emergency.
Sentiment must not stand in the way of solving this mystery. You did the right thing.
Yes, I did.
I'll have a look around if that's okay.
My home is
Yeah, I know you told me. Let's go find the bells. Dear man.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Well, well, well.
You must know just about everything that there is to know about this place.
See, I have lived my whole life here in the service of the Di Vasconcelos.
Do you know of a well anywhere around here?
Well, si, senor. This used to be a fortified villa. How can you last a siege without water?
Great! So where is it?
How should I know? The well was covered over in the last century. It was dangerous, you see.
And you have no idea where it was?
None. It was hidden even before my grandfather's time.
You must have a vague idea of where the well is.
It must have been in the old house's courtyard, so that would put it around here.
Here? Okay. Now, how do we find it?
There might be a way. Let me think about it.
Any ideas yet?
We are looking for a source of water, see?
Yes.
For generations, the Spanish country folk have had a secret way of locating water, even if it is meters beneath the ground.
Ah, you're not talking about water dousing, are you?
Eh?
You know, you get a stick and walk around until the stick twitches and dig there.
Oh, you've heard of it.
Yeah, I think most of the planet has. Okay, let's get a stick.
Uno momento. It must be a special stick. A Y of hazel.
Right. Do you have any hazel trees?
See? Here. That is hazel.
Where is it? There's a tree up here somewhere.
I went over to find a suitable stick. Aha!
Divining rod acquired.
Hi, Lopez. Got a minute?
Certainly, senor. How can I help you?
Where he be?
Well, I got my divining rod. Now what?
Simplicity itself, senor. Hold the wand at the upper ends of the Y. Apply a little tension with your wrists so that the slightest movement of the wand's tip is clear, and walk slowly and steadily over the area.
Sounds easy enough. We'll find this well in no time.
What kind of chickens, George? Take time, George, why don't you?
Senor Stobart, You've found something.
This is it.
Really?
This is where we find the secret of the Templars. Hidden here for hundreds of years.
Too excited.
Lost from the sight of man until now. The mystery is revealed.
It's a tin can.
I've been walking up and down with a twig in my hands, looking for a tin can.
It had water in it. That's what the dowsing stick must have detected.
I'd have to check with an archaeologist, but I don't think the Templars left that.
In truth, Senor Stobart, the loan was laid many, many years ago. This can could date back to the Napoleonic Wars.
Get rid of it and I'll try it again. Lopez threw the can away. It seemed to fall an awfully long way. The splash at the end confirmed what we both suspected. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Wow.
It has been here all the time. All those years and nobody found it.
Stood in awe for a moment, marveling at the secrets all around us.
I could have fallen down that.
The well had been lost for decades at least. The air was cool after the noon sun, but that's not what gave me goosebumps. I have a really, really bad feeling about this.
Well, we're going to leave it there, I think. Until tomorrow. Thank you for everybody that viewed this evening. There's loads of you at one point. Thank you very much. We're going to go see if we can raid. See if we can raid Dunn Cruise. Dom Cruise. Online at the moment. Okay, ready. It's no Dom Cruise. Dom Cruise watching me. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, and I will be back tomorrow morning, and I will see you there. Let's see if the dealer's available, shall we? New to this radio and posting okay. Okay, raid. Good. Ready to raid. Don't know if anybody's following me anymore, but we're gonna raid Hood Nerd Gaming TV. From Summit Mania.
Oh. Oh, Marine! Marine! Appreciate the raid. Everybody welcome. I just got defeated. One life left, but I don't think we're gonna, since we're on this level, I don't think we have to start over.